Michigan Out of Doors Online is brought to you in part by Mr. Muskie Charters, offering full-service guided fishing trips for walleye, muskie, bass, and sturgeon on Lake St. Clair and the Detroit and St. Clair rivers. Booking information is online at mrmuskiecharters.com.
Animals have the ability to smell scent half a mile away. But what good is an attractant if the animals have to be close to smell it? Introducing an industry-first vapor system. Vapor lasts longer and travels farther. Wind Scent by Fourth Arrow. Active vapor for deadly success.
Hey everyone, welcome to Michigan Out of Doors. I'm Jenny Olson and we've got an all-new show for you this week. It's pretty exciting to think that archery season opener is this weekend on Sunday. Can't wait for that. And just a quick reminder for everybody hunting out of trees out there this weekend, we're going to give you some tree stand safety tips just as a quick refresher course to keep everybody safe out there in the woods. And we'll have a wild game recipe for you this week too. And Jimmy's been working on some other fun stuff for us.
Well, that's right, Jenny. We are excited for the upcoming bow season this weekend. And just a couple of weeks back, the small game season opened. And right before that, I was able to get out with one of the best dog trainers here in the state of Michigan. We're going to show you kind of what goes into making a finished bird dog. Lots of good stuff on this week's show. I think we're going to actually have time for a bragging board segment as well. So you stay tuned. I'm Jimmy Gretzinger. It's time for Michigan Out of Doors.
From the first spring rains to the soft summer breeze, dancing on the pine forest floor, the autumn colors catch your eyes, here come the crystal winter skies. It's Michigan, Michigan out of doors. Someday our children all will see this is their finest legacy, the wonder and the love of Michigan. As the wind comes whispering through the trees, the sweet smell of nature's in the air. From the Great Lakes to the quiet stream, shining like a sportsman's dream, it's the love of Michigan we all share.
Michigan Out of Doors is presented by Country Smokehouse, a sportsman's meat processor and Michigan destination since 1988. Offers a variety of homemade smoked meats and Michigan-made products in-store and online. The Country Smokehouse features an outdoor barbecue and bar. Details at countrysmokehouse.com. By G5 Outdoors, makers of the Quest and Prime bows, manufactured and designed in Memphis, Michigan. G5 offers a line of archery bows, broadheads, and accessories on the web at g5outdoors.com. By KL Outdoor, a Muskegon manufacturer of sportsman's outdoor products for over 30 years, featuring the Terrain line of hard-sided hunting blinds designed for quick setup and removal with quiet operation. For more information and other products, kloutdoor.com.
Michigan-based Vanguard manufactures an array of binoculars, ranging in size and design, and backed by a lifetime warranty. Discover Vanguard sporting optics at vanguardworld.us.
Right before the small game season kicked in a week or so ago, I was able to get to Beulah, just outside of Frankfort, in the northwest part of the Lower Peninsula, and spent some time with Bruce and Neil Menard. These guys are some of the best dog trainers in the state. I was interested to see their setup as I had heard a lot about them. Now, today was a normal day of training for the father-son team, and they walked me through how they start working a young dog.
The setup is real critical. If you look at the wind is kind of coming across this way right now. So we set it up to where we're going to bring the dog in downwind from it, and they'll have an opportunity to point at these two quail. And if they make a mistake or move in, we'll launch that bird right there. And we're not, with these young dogs, we're not going to really be trying to train anything, but we're going to try to just groom them to do what we're wanting to do. We're not going to shock, we're not going to holler. So it all kind of starts right here with a good foundation set of work. Later on, as they mature, we'll bring in the shock collars and stuff like that. A lot of the training is just overlapping.
With the young dog, I was interested to learn how they handle things when they don't really go as planned.
What he's smelling that bird, what I'm going to do is let Neil get up in there. He quick get up in there and get that bird up. Well, see, what we'd ideally had liked is when I launched that pigeon that he seen it flush. But he didn't see that pigeon. He smelt these birds and he locked in on those birds and didn't notice that pigeon flying. Had that pigeon, because he wasn't locking right up on point. And had he seen that pigeon fly away, he'd have known that he put too much pressure on this situation and caused that bird to fly. And so it didn't quite happen the way we wanted to. And I'm not gonna worry a whole lot about it wasn't a perfect setup. Because today it might not have went perfect with this dog, but tomorrow it'll be better. And so this wasn't a perfect go with this dog, but he did smell the bird. He did lock up on point. Yep. We'd like to had him seen that pigeon flush, but he didn't. He locked down with his nose, and so that's kind of how that went.
It was helpful to remain positive, even if the training run doesn't always go perfect. Now this dog was a little bit further along.
So she's halfway of being a completely trained dog. We like to think of a completely trained dog as between 3 and 4 years old. Okay. And that's just coming out of college. Okay. Then they need to get out and get their real world experience. And a lot of dogs will come into their prime between 5 and 6 years old, or between 4 and 6 years old, kind of in between stage. And they call it a derby age dog. Now what we did there with her, our end product is a dog that's steady to wing and shot. And as she was younger, like that other puppy, if we were out in the field, we'd let the other puppy chase, shoot the gun, get a lot of that stuff going. She's already been there. So we need this dog to start getting broke, they call it, which is steady to wing and shot. And we don't want her jumping in, chasing. So I launched the bird, kind of held her back. Neil tossed the bird again a couple times. This is one drill too we could do is, well, it's just like on the table, toss that bird over and over and over here, which we'll do when we take her into the backing situation.
There are lots of tricks to the trade, and one thing Bruce really relies on is the time spent on the table, getting the dog relaxed and used to him working the dog.
We like to get him up here and be able to kind of stroke him up and get our hands on him and help keep him calm. A lot of times when you first get your young dog up here, they're real fidgety, can't stand still. This gives them a little bit of a calm setting. I can pet her. I like to get my hands all over them, touch them kind of everywhere, just so she knows that my hands are always good. And in first time dogs, if you touch them back here on their hind legs, they'll want to drop down. Just because they're not desensitized to the touch.
It was fun to listen to Bruce talk about the different stages that dogs go through. Now, they train young dogs, and they will finish a dog for you, or just work them for a few months, depending on your needs. Now, this setter here is a finished dog, and you can tell that the level of experience, well, it is much different, which is what you want for a grouse dog.
Now, he's been through it all. Even though we got like the check cord on him, bringing him out here, he'll stand these birds like that, the grouse, for quite some time. And then our goal, the finished goal, is a dog that'll stay with intensity, tail up, no flagging, no looking, showing no signs of intimidation or question, like what am I doing? You want to see that focus is your goal. So that dog's in tune to what's going on.
Now, Bruce and Neil will use pen birds like this from time to time, but the bulk of their training is actually done with wild birds, which really sets them apart, especially on their started dogs.
Our started dogs, we like to have them introduced to quail, gunfire, electronic collars. We like to have them out in the woods and have gotten some sort of woods exposure to them. Preferably pointing a few woodcock and grouse. To me, a good started dog, you should be able to, in a setup situation, if you're planting the quail, to be able to get in front of them and put up that bird and shoot it. Not stay to wing and shot, but pointing staunchly. Okay. But a good started dog, he knows the fundamentals. Here, whoa, pointing the bird, shooting the gun. He knows what the electronic reinforcement is of the commands, and then he's started, he's ready to go. He's not finished. You know, finish takes a lot longer. So, but about a year and a half old dog we consider started. It's becoming real popular, started dogs. Guys can come out, we'll show them the dog, show them what it's doing, as opposed to buying an 8-week-old puppy and guessing what he's gonna be doing at a year and a half old. So it's become pretty popular.
So whether you train your own dog, or you're looking for a pup, or you're interested in buying a started dog, well, these guys got you covered. But no matter what, here's hoping that you get out and chase a bird dog through the woods this fall here in Michigan's Out of Doors.
Well, we here at Michigan Out of Doors TV just want to make sure that everybody has a safe time while they're out in the woods hunting this season. So we thought we'd bring you a few quick reminders on how to stay safe out there.
It's that time of year again. The land has been scouted, trail cams checked, and stands hung in anticipation of deer season. As we take to the woods and fields again this year, we want to remind everyone to make safety a priority. Andy Gorski from Frank's Great Outdoors has some good tips to stay safe this season.
Hunting seasons are upon us, and once again I'd like to touch base on a little tree stand safety. 86% of all hunting accidents or tree stand accidents happen when you're going up or down the tree. So I've been wearing one of these hunter safety vests for quite some time. Over the years I might have gained a few pounds, so that vest doesn't fit anymore. I picked up this strap deal here, and it goes on pretty simple. Wearing this hunter safety system is a must, but it definitely doesn't help you when you're climbing up and down the tree. So we're going to learn a little bit about a lifeline today, as well as touch on a few other topics of how to be safe in a tree stand. There's a lot of different brands out on the market. They're all safe, provided you read the directions, follow the instructions, set them up right. As far as this lifeline goes, it took me literally 10 minutes to figure this out, tie it in the tree, and away I went. This will definitely be used in my next hunting excursion. The Prusik knot on these lifelines are designed to tighten under pressure, so if you fall, that'll snag and it'll pressure and boom, you're there. You're not gonna hit the ground. So on the way up, you keep your hand underneath it, you just slide it up as you go. Slide it up, that way if you fall, it can cinch. On the way down, you keep most of your hand underneath it and you put your finger over the top so you can slide. Because if you have your whole hand on the top, you'll tend to, if you fall, you tend to grab it and it won't let it grab. So if you just have your finger on the top, you fall, this is gonna catch. That's gonna keep you from hitting the ground. A couple of common sense things. Don't ever climb your stick with your bow or your gun in your hand. Always point the barrel down on your gun if you're using that for rifle season. Make sure it's unloaded. Crossbow, definitely don't have a bolt in it. You know, have it uncocked before you haul it up the tree. You can use any kind of, nice rope or string, or you have these little retractable reels right here. Pull it out, the handle flips up, you can crank it right back up. Little belt clip clips right on you. Nice and quiet for in the tree. And then we'll hook up and head on up.
The lifeline that Andy's using here is a simple device designed to catch you if you fall while on your way up or down the tree. It's attached both at the top and bottom of the tree and runs alongside the tree or ladder. You can make your own or buy one pre-made.
Hand underneath, slide her up a little bit, go up a couple steps, slide it up some more, step off onto your platform. We'll get my safety strap out. It's always a good idea to stay hooked up to the lifeline while you're hooking that up. Just feed it through. Normally in the tree I don't wear a chartreuse shirt, but I thought for today I'd want to be visible. And we're all hooked up. It's a good idea to practice this ahead of time so that you're familiar with how it works, and if you're trying to do it in the dark or with your headlamp on, You get all hooked up, spin around, have a seat, and pull your bow up. Just like that. Now we're ready. We all enjoy the outdoors and we love to be out there as much as we can. So life is short. Take precautions and the safety precautions necessary to have a safe and successful outing in the outdoors. Hunter safety system, the vest or the strap style, whatever, the lifeline, which we learned about today. Make a plan. Tell a friend, bring a friend, tell your family where you're going to be, what time you're going to be home, so they know. So if you're not there, they can start looking for you. keep your cell phone on you in your pocket, somewhere close to you, or a walkie-talkie, and have it, have something set up. It's pretty crazy how many people actually are out there that don't use a vest or hunter safety system or a lifeline. I used to be a little more careless once in a while, and as I've grown older, I know that I don't bounce off the ground like I used to. It takes a little longer to heal, so I'm taking the necessary precautions to have a safe outing in the outdoors. We're doing a little test fall here. So there I am, dangling, trying not to smash my teeth in the steps, but there I am hanging. Not very comfy, but get your bearings if you fall, find the nearest step, grab onto the tree, and get back. If you ever do fall, you want to get a new hunter safety system and a new lifeline, as they will be compromised. We're all trying to stay safe out there in the outdoors. We want to see you back next time, so have a good one and good luck hunting.
Some great reminders. On the way out of the woods, we stopped into Frank's for another great tip from Andy.
Now that we're out of the tree stand, one confusing part about the hunt is how to properly tag a deer, which I'll tell you a little bit in here. So we're gonna go over it real quick. You can either have one of these zip strips or a piece of string. If you got a buck, you can put the zip strip around the antler like this, or if it's a doe, you just poke a hole through the ear and put it through that way. So we put the zip strip around like this, pull it tight, take your deer tag, peel it off, put it on the zip strip or a piece of string, and fold it right in half. Because if you read in your hunting guide here, it tells you it needs to be legible for inspection. So taking the tag and squishing it up around the leg or around the antler is technically not the way to do it. So it's the best way to try it like this, so don't cause any extra attention when you have to talk to the man. Where's the nearest place to get a deer processed around here?
Well, hey, we are here once again with Jim Wood, Antlers Fireside Grill, just outside of the Big Rapids area, Canadian Lakes, and I'm kind of excited for this recipe. I see mac and cheese happening and venison.
Yeah.
How do we do this?
So we're gonna do a Cajun macaroni and cheese.
Ooh, even better.
And, down south they'd throw, it didn't really matter what type of protein it was, whatever you have on hand. So that's kind of where this recipe was developed.
Okay.
So we're gonna take our venison loin. You could use duck, you could use bear, elk, and you can really use whatever you want.
Okay.
But it's a quick cooking process, so it's gotta be a cut like the loin that doesn't require a long, slow cooking method, because you want it to be tender when you bite into it.
Okay.
So we're gonna hit our cubed up venison here with some salt.
Now you guys do a lot of mac and cheese here at the restaurant, right?
Yeah, we do 3 different types, and then a lot of times we'll feature one for a month, different type of macaroni and cheese.
And this is just a Cajun seasoning, I'm assuming?
Yep. This is a blackening seasoning we make here in-house, but anything you want to buy at the store is fine.
Okay.
So once your pan starts to get just a little smoky, actually, if you want to put that in there for me, that'd be great. You just do such a good job.
I know. So that's not going to take very long at all, is it?
No, shouldn't.
And then you want to pre-do your noodles, have those already cooked?
Yep, noodles are already cooked.
And what kind of cheese do you guys use, I'm sure, a blend of stuff?
Yeah, we've got 7 different cheeses.
7 different cheeses.
The variation we're using here has Parmesan, Fontina, cheddar, smoked Gouda, blue cheese. All right, so you really want to go really rare on this.
Okay.
Because you're actually going to, right at the end, you're going to bake it.
Oh,
so it's going to be in the oven for a couple minutes.
Okay. Wow.
All right, we can actually use the same pan.
Okay. Then how did you come up with the cheeses that you, 7, there's probably a few more out there, but how did you?
Trial and error, lots of trial and error, yeah.
Huh.
So here we have some butter that we actually have here at the restaurant. We mix it with roasted garlic.
Okay.
You don't need the roasted garlic, just adds a little flavor for us. If you don't want to go through that step, it's fine.
Okay.
Nobody's watching. All right, so this is andouille sausage, which is kind of a smoked Creole sausage.
Yep.
Then we've got some peppers and tomato.
So this is similar maybe to one of the dishes you guys do here?
Yeah, we actually do a Cajun mac here right now.
Okay.
It doesn't have venison in it though. All right, and you're just looking to cook those down just a little bit.
Okay.
So after that, we've got a 1/2 cup of heavy cream here.
Cream.
One of my favorite ingredients. So we're gonna let that cook down until it starts to thicken a little bit. Now this looks like a whole lot of cheese in comparison to the amount of liquid that you have in the pan.
Okay.
And
it is?
No, it's not.
All right.
But you're gonna think that before it's finally melted, and then you're gonna see it's not.
Gotcha. Wow.
So you're just gonna sit here and whisk.
And then how long do you put it in the oven for?
Just a couple minutes. You're just looking to brown it.
Oh, okay.
So you can actually do that at about 450 degrees.
Okay, so a little hotter. And that you're just gonna pour that over the noodles, or the noodles come in? Or?
We're gonna put the noodles right in here.
Okay.
Next, add in your pre-cooked noodles, then add in part of your venison, saving a few pieces for the top of the mac and cheese. Finally, add a little more cheese, and it's ready for the oven. Let it cook for a few minutes until the cheese is melted, and you're good to go.
Thanks for joining us this week for Michigan Out of Doors. Make sure you check us out online next time you get a chance. You can do it a couple of different ways on our website at michiganoutofdoorstv.com. You'll find this week's wild game recipe there, all sorts of fun stuff, older episodes, new episodes, all the recipes, the history of the show is on our website, or you can check us out on social media at Michigan Out of Doors TV. We're on social media every few days letting you know where we are and where we're headed next. And speaking of where we're headed next, we've got a lot of fun in store for you this fall.
Well, there is so much going on right now here in the great state of Michigan. Over the next couple of weeks, we'll have our bow opener, we'll have some great fishing, we'll have some small game stuff. So much happening right now in the great state of Michigan. Make sure that you are getting out there and enjoying it. And if we don't see you in the woods or on the water, hopefully we'll see you right back here next week on your PBS station.
Michigan Out of Doors is presented by Greenstone Farm Credit Services, making recreational land ownership possible across Michigan and northeast Wisconsin. Begin your land financing journey at one of Greenstone's 37 locations or visit greenstonefcs.com. By Metalloid Firearms and Sports, developers of environmentally friendly firearm maintenance products for cleaning and protecting your firearm's metal, as well as wood and leather components. On the web at metalloidfirearmsproducts.com. By the Michigan chapters of Safari Club International. For over 40 years, SCI has been protecting hunters' rights and promoting wildlife conservation here in Michigan and around the world. SCI chapter locations can be found on the web at firstformichigan.org. By the Michigan Petroleum Association and the National Oil Heat Research Alliance, advocating the advantages of oil heat for home and environment through products like BioHeat Oil, which blends biodegradable materials into a renewable fuel source. Learn more at oilheatamerica.com. Closed captioning provided by Marvo Mineral, makers of Lucky Buck, deer management products including minerals to supplement deer diets year-round to improve health and antler growth.
When I wander far away, a dream stays with me night and day. It's the road that leads to my home state. I am a Michigan man. Changing seasons paint the scene like rainbow trout in a hidden stream. The white-tailed deer in the tall pine trees. I am a Michigan man. I am a Michigan man. Ask where I'm from and I'll show you my hands. Lord above, I love this land. I am a Michigan man. From the Keweenaw down to St. Joe, Kalamazoo, east to Monroe, to St. Marie and back again. I am a Michigan man.